Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा
श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा
श्रीवासादि गौड़ भक्त वृंदा।
जय हरिनाम कीर्तन की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवतीरुत्तम श्लोके
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
श्रीमद् भागवतम canto 1 chapter 9 verse 9। तान् समेतान् महाभागान् उपलभ्य वसुत्तमा पूजयामास धर्मज्ञो Deshakala Vibhagavet.
Deshakala Vibhagavet.
Tan Sametan Mahabhagan.
Tan Sametan Mahabhagan.
Upalabhya Vasuttama.
Upalabhya Vasuttama.
Pujayamasa Dharmajño.
Pujayam Asadharmagno.
Deshakala Vibhagavet.
Deshakala Vibhagavet.
Tan Sametan Mahabhagan.
Tan
Tan
Sametan
Sametan Mahabhagan.
Mahabhagan.
Upalabhya Vasuttama.
Upalabhya
Upalabhya
Vasuttama.
Vasuttama.
Pudyam Asadharmobhyam.
Pujayam
Asadharmagno.
Asadharmagno.
Deshakala Vibhagavet.
Deshakala Vibhagavet.
Vibhagavet. Translation purport by His Divine Grace of Charna Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Synonyms: Than, all of them.
Tan.
All of them.
Samethan, assembled together.
Samitan assembled together.
Mahabhagan, all greatly powerful.
Mahabhagan, all greatly powerful.
Upalabhya, having received.
Upalabhya, having received.
Vasu Uttama, the best among the Vasus, Bhishmadeva.
Vasu Uttamaha, the best among the Vasus, Vishmadeva.
Pujyamasa, welcomed.
Jyamasa, welcomed.
Dharmajna, one who knows religious principles.
Dharmagna, one who knows religious principles.
Desa, place.
Desha, place.
Kala, time.
Kala, time.
Vibhagavit, one who knows the adjustment of place and time.
Vibhagavit, one who knows the adjustment of place and time.
Translation, please repeat after me. Bhishmadeva,
Vishmadeva,
who was the best amongst the 8 Vasus.
who was the best amongst the 8 Vasus,
Received and welcomed all the great and powerful rishis.
received and welcomed all the great and powerful rishis
Who were assembled there.
who were assembled there,
For he knew perfectly
for he knew perfectly
all the religious principles according to time and place.
all the religious principles according to time and place.
Purport.
Purport. Expert religionists know perfectly well how to adjust religious principles in terms of time and place. All the great acharyas or religious preachers or reformers of the world executed their mission by adjustment of religious principles in terms of time and place. There are different climates and situations in different parts of the world. And if one has to discharge his duties to preach the message of the Lord, he must be expert in adjusting things in terms of the time and place. Bhishmadeva was one of the 12 great authorities in preaching this cult of devotional service, and therefore he could receive and welcome all the powerful sages assembled there at his deathbed from all parts of the universe. He was certainly unable at that time to welcome and receive them physically because he was neither at his home nor in a normal healthy condition. But he was quite fit by the activities of his sound mind, and therefore he could utter sweet words with hearty expressions, and all of them were well received. One can perform one's duty by physical work, by mind, and by words. and he knew well how to utilize them in the proper place. And therefore, there was no difficulty for him to receive them, although physically unfit.
Hari Om Tat Sat. मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रसाय भूतले श्रीमते जयप्रताप स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमो आचार्यपदाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथा दामधाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमः। ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवाके पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हराय नम कृष्ण यादवाय नम हरे गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन मुकाम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनकारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यं हरिं। So Bhishma Deva is not an ordinary person. Even in the material world, he was the chief amongst the Vasus. There were 8 Vasus. So chief amongst them is Bhishma Deva, and he has descended from the higher planetary system to this particular Bhumandala when he took his birth, which means he is not bound by any kind of karmas. As Vashu, he was already engaged in devotional service, glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with amongst all the 8 Vashus. And by the will of the Lord, he descended here, because those who have no karma, why they come here? They come by the will of the Lord. When they are inclined to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the Lord arranges for them to appear here and serve the Lord. So Bhishma should not be considered as an ordinary person or one who is undergoing the reactions of a Kshatriya. So he is born devotee, he is a born liberated, and he came here in order to serve Krishna's purpose. And Krishna wants a devotee to be in the opposite side. So he was positioned accordingly. Ultimately, the activity, when it is performed, it is by the free will of the individual soul. But the desire of the soul is always fulfilled by Krishna. So Bhishma Dev here is such a personality, exalted personality, that physically his body was not able to move even an inch here and there. He can't even lift his head. He cannot even move his hand. Everything is, pierced with arrows, and in turn, the arrow is pierced into the earth, making him unable to move physically. And he has lost all his blood. He has lost all his blood owing to the piercing of the arrows. Even Arjuna, when initially he saw during the war was going on, He came to Bhishma Dev after putting him on the arrow bed. He saw that he asked Bhishma that I would like to bring the physician. So he was telling that can I bring some physician and patch your wounds so that you will feel painless and I can, stop the oozing out of the blood. And then Bhishma told him, no, Arjuna, let all this blood, which is due to I ate the salt of Duryodhana, go out from my body so that I can be purified. And, in this way, he felt that. So now for few days, he is on the arrow bed. You don't think that so many pores, arrows pierced out of the body, different parts of the body, the legs, the thighs, the body, the hands, everywhere. And all the blood have been oozed out for a few days. How physically would that person would be? But mentally and conscious wise, he was 100% healthy. This is impossible to even believe for the conditioned soul. And this is a proof that Bhishma Dev is born liberated. And he is so knowledgeable that he knows how to receive. When great rishis, including Sukadeva Goswami, everybody has come there. How to respect them, how to receive them. The personality of Godhead is right before him. How to receive him, how to respect him. He knows. Mentally, he has offered obeisances, he offered them higher seat, and he has washed their lotus feet, and he sang prayers for Krishna and all the great rishis, and they honored them with fruits and whatever, he knows the best way of receiving, and nobody would know better than him. He is in such an exalted position, and he did that. Now you can see that all the great rishis who have assembled there were Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also present. So many, more than 60, I think. And we have not seen that any one great Rishi has got so much of angry, or any Brahmana got angry that, you haven't got respected me and I have come to see you at the deathbed and all these things, just like, Daksha. When Lord Shiva was also offering obeisances and respecting in the assembly, Daksha got angry. What kind of Brahmana? Daksha was also Brahmana and he's a Prajapati. And he got angry. He did not even understand that how the Vaishnava behaves. Brahma Jnanatiti Brahmana. Brahmana should know at least by knowledge that, okay, they are offering respects in the mind. They must accept at least theoretically if they cannot really realize that. No. But here all the assembled sages, they know very clearly that Bhishma has respected them very well. And, they were all satisfied. This is the difference. So here everybody knows. Nobody is with a poor fund of knowledge present there who thinks that great rishis and munis and Supreme Personality of Godhead come and he is not, and he's able to speak so nicely and he is not able to, he didn't offer obeisances or anything. No objections. Okay, so that is why Prabhupada starts with his purport. Expert religionists know perfectly well how to adjust religious principles in terms of time and place. So here time and place is putting Bhishma Dev physically immovable. So in such a state, great personalities have arrived, including the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So how to, how to give respect them, how to behave in such a situation, and they have come to him. They've come to attend his last breath. They come to witness his successful attempt of his human form of life, which they were very eager to. Everybody has come, and the Supreme Lord is present in order to make his attempt successful. He's the only person who is there who will make Bhishma's attempt successful in the single human life. So that is the beauty of it. And all the great acharyas, religious preachers, performers, reformers of the world, like Srila Prabhupada, reformer of the world. When you come, I always remember Srila Prabhupada because he has reformed the entire world with Krishna consciousness by inundating the entire world with Krishna consciousness of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and the transcendental knowledge about Krishna, and lots and lots unlimited devotional service. Each ISKCON center, each ISKCON temple, each Namahata, each Bhakti Vriksha is a generator of devotional service, and it gives opportunity to the conditioned souls to be engaged in the service of Krishna. Such a reformation was brought by Srila Prabhupada. That was his mission. That was his mission. And they know very clearly in terms of time and place, how can it be executed without breaking the religious principles? Otherwise, how can Srila Prabhupada make it 16 rounds when it was 64 rounds? Prabhupada knows, according to time, place, and circumstances, how without breaking the devotional service, religious principles, it could be done. But we cannot reduce that. Prabhupada can. That is Acharya. So the different climate, different situation in different part of the world. In Western country, he went and preached. In Eastern countries, he went and preached. Where did he not preach? Everywhere he has preached. Prabhupada is everywhere. That is why he is called Jagat Guru. He is truly proved to be Jagat Guru. Like our Guru Maharaj, he went everywhere and preached. He went even to the countries where it is not acceptable, and he went and preached. So this is the beauty of the Acharyas. Different part of the world they have gone and they preached. So they know how to discharge their duty perfectly, irrespective of the time, place, and circumstance. This is called Vaishnava. Pure devotee knew this secret. Only pure devotee know the secret. And they can represent the Supreme Lord very perfectly. They can represent the Supreme Lord very perfectly. So in this way, we have seen how Srila Bhishma Deva is, by mind and words and consciousness, he is performing his duty so perfectly. So this is what we are doing.
No, you can finish it. Okay. We are also okay. It has come now. Wait. Okay, 10 minutes now.
So Bhishma Dev, in this way, he is so expert at all his knowledge, and as a Vaishnava, when the body cannot be used, the mind, the intelligence, the consciousness is never hurt. For a Vaishnava, it's always situated at the lotus feet of Krishna. So he has excellently performed well according to time, place, circumstances, and he has utilized.
You'll finish your class, Aram say, whenever you finish, we can. But car has come.
So when Bhishma Deva, he has used his mind, he has used his words so expertly, so nicely. You would not find him, the person who is wounded, full of body with pain and blood oozing out when he speaks, how he speaks. Not like that Bhishma Deva spoke. His mind, his consciousness, his intelligence, his words are so pure and so perfect. And this bodily concept was absent in him totally. And he was just speaking, more than anybody who is well-built and with full healthy. This is the beauty of a Vaishnava. Yes, nobody felt that he is having the bodily pain because he himself not felt the bodily pain. So this is a position of Bhishma Dev. And so there was no difficulty for Bhishma Dev to receive them, although physically he may apparently seemed to be unfit. So this is, as we have to move now, this is a long, yeah. Okay, so we'll move on to next verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, verse 10. Krishnam chatat prabhavajna
Krishnam cha tat prabhavagnya.
Asinam Jagadishwaram.
Asinam
Asinam
Jagadishwaram.
Jagadishwaram.
Hridistam Pujayam Asha.
Hridistam
Hridistham
pujayam
Pujayam
asha.
Asha.
Mayayopatha Vigraham.
Maya Yopata Vigraham.
Krishnam Chatat Prabhavagnya.
Krishnam Chatat Prabhavagnya.
Asinam Jagadishwaram.
Asinam Jagadishwaram.
Hridistam Pujayamasa.
Hridistham
pujayam
Pujayam
asha.
Asha.
Mayayopatha Vigraham.
Maya Yopata Vigraham.
Chatat Prabhavagya.
Krishnam
Krishnam Chatat
Prabhavagnya.
Prabhavagnya.
Asinam Jagadishwaram.
Asinam Jagadishwaram.
Hridistam Pujayamasha.
Hridistham Pujayam Asha.
Maya Yopata Vigraham.
Maya Yopata Vigraham.
Synonyms: Krishnam, unto Lord Sri Krishna.
Krishnam
Krishnam unto Lord Sri Krishna.
Cha also.
Cha
Also.
That of him.
That of him.
That of him.
Prabhavajna, the knower of the glories, Bhishma.
Prabhavagnya, the knower of the glories, Bhishma.
Asinam, sitting.
Asinam, sitting.
Jagat Ishwaram, the Lord of the universe.
Jagat Ishwaram, the Lord of the universe.
Hridistham, situated in the heart.
Hridistham, situated in the heart.
Pujayamasa, worshipped.
Pujayam
Pujayam Asha, worshipped.
Mayaya, by internal potency.
Maya, by internal potency.
Upata, manifested.
Manifested.
Vigraham, a form.
Vigraham, a form.
Translation, please repeat after me. Lord Sri Krishna is situated in everyone's heart.
Lord Sri Krishna is situated in everyone's heart.
Yet he manifests his transcendental form by his internal potency.
Yet he manifests his transcendental form by his internal potency.
This very Lord was sitting before Bhishma Deva.
This
very Lord was sitting before Bhishma Deva.
And since Bhishma Deva knew of his glories,
And since Bhishma Deva knew of his glories,
he worshipped him duly.
he worshipped him duly.
Purport.
The Lord's omnipotency is displayed by his simultaneous presence in every place. He is present always in his eternal abode Golok Vrindavan. And still, he is present in everyone's heart and even within every invisible atom. When he manifests his eternal transcendental form in the material world, he does so by his internal. By his eternal form.
Potency.
By his internal potency. The external potency or the material energy has nothing to do with his eternal form. All these truths were known to Sri Bhishma Deva, who worshipped him accordingly.
Jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Mugam Karodi Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namini Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakata Damadaya Nagara Gramatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauramani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Wow, very amazing verse, like how Bhishma Deva in front of his eyes, the Supreme Lord is sitting. How fortunate is Bhishma Deva that in front of, while he was about to leave his body, the Lord is sitting in front of his eyes. The Lord Sri Krishna is situated in everyone's heart. As Paramatma is situated in everyone's heart, but we are not able to see. But when he is appearing as in this world, not as an incarnation, but himself, he also appears as incarnations. At the same time, he also comes once in a day of Brahma. And when Krishna himself comes also, Krishna doesn't touch matter. Then how does it seems like Krishna is appearing in this world? How it is possible? The reason is explained scientifically here. He manifests his transcendental form by his internal potency. By Andaranga Shakti, or we can say Yoga Maya potency or Andaranga Shakti, divine, Divya Shakti. Lord is looking manifest in this world, even though this world is external energy manifested in material world, but still you see the transcendental personality, Krishna, the Supreme Personality, transcendental Supreme Personality. So he has a transcendental form, even though he is appearing in the eyes, or the material eyes. Duryodhana is seeing, Arjuna is seeing, every Panchapandavas are seeing, all the Rishis, Munis, everybody is seeing Krishna. How is it possible? We are in the material world, he is transcendental. We are not able to see each other as spirit soul. Then how the spiritual personality? We are one with Krishna in the quality. Only in quantity we are different. So Satsidananda Vigraha, how people are able to see with the material eyes is explained very nicely here. Lord Sri Krishna is situated in, and one more thing is also there, Prabhupada is explaining how the Lord who is situated in the heart, when he is appearing as a personality separately, it is not that, okay, Krishna from the heart has come in front, so the heart is empty. Not like that. He can expand. He can expand into as many forms as he wants. There is Ashtama Siddhi in which a limited expansion is possible. A person can become like 7 or 8 maximum. That expansion, but all the forms will do the same activity. It won't do different activity. It will not do different activity. It will do the same activity. So that is the limitation. But here, Krishna is unlimited Supreme Lord. So he manifests you through his internal potency. This has to be understood. This very Lord was sitting before Bhishma Deva, and since just a second. This very Lord was sitting before Bhishma Deva, and since Bhishma Deva knew of his glories, he worshipped him duly. So we understand here how Kunti Maharani knew the glory of the Supreme Lord, and she praised very beautifully, glorified. Same way, Bhishma also is seeing. Bhishma is also seeing the Supreme Lord. So he knows the glories, so he will worship. This is the duty. When spiritual master arrives, when you see, then immediately you have to worship. You have to wash the lotus feet. You have to worship. And pure devotees of the Supreme Lord, when they appear, when the altar opens, or when you enter the temple first, the first meeting, the first thing what you need to do is Manmanabhava Madbhakto Madhyajimam Namaskuru. You're supposed to offer obeisances, and you're supposed to worship the Supreme Lord. As soon as the altar opens, and the same way when the altar is closing, then at that time also we'll offer obeisances. When the Supreme Lord appears in front of our eyes, the first thing we need to do is we need to worship him, glorify him. Jai. We say, like when Jagannath's altar open, we say Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai. That is the minimum where we can do. If you know choicy poetry, you can sing. Not the conscience of others, but rather Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas have sung songs which a conditioned soul like us can actually sing. That is why even in the Arati and all, we are not reciting Srimad Bhagavatam verses. No, sorry. We are not reciting Srimad Bhagavatam verses in Arati, but we are singing the Vaishnava Acharya songs. The Vaishnava Acharya songs are mostly in Bengali, sometimes very rarely in Sanskrit, very rare. But anyway, Vaishnava Acharyas have taught us what is the prayer we need to do as soon as the altar opens. There is a difference between, like demigods, they sing choicest Uttama Sloka Vartaya. There are many slokas. They sing Purusha Sukta and all these things. They do very, we can say, like regulated Sanskrit verses. But generally, we show our emotions. We show our, like we say that how we are so very fallen. But by the mercy of Guru, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we have come to Krishna consciousness. So we thank the Supreme Lord. And then like we are singing so many songs. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. This is what? This is what we sing. This is what is the deity we need to do. These kind of choicest poetry will please the Supreme Lord a lot, more than selected verses from the slokas. Once in a while we can chant, that is okay, but regularly every day arati, every day emotional exchanges between the Supreme Lord and an individual is already defined by our acharyas. So nice songs are there. So we can, so here this is what is explained. As soon as one sees, he has to be worshipped duly. So Bhishma Deva did very, very perfect person. The default microphone has changed to earphone. You are able to hear me now? It has changed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The Lord's omnipotency is displayed by his simultaneous presence in every place. So the first sentence mentions, like here, Lord Krishna is situated in everyone's heart. Oh, he was in the heart. Then when he manifested outside, the heart became empty, not like that. So it is mentioned, an example analogy is given how Lord's incarnations or expansions happen. It's like you have a lamp. The lamp is glowing very nicely, and from that one lamp, you are lighting many lamps. Same way, the Supreme Lord is only one. And when he expands, it is like you are lighting many other lamps. So when he lit all the lamps, they will also be equally potent. But there is an initial source. Same way, Goloka eva nijadamni talesha tasya. So Lord is from the Goloka, the original personality of God, it is Krishna, Supreme Lord. But there are many incarnations and expansions we are seeing. They are like the other lamps. They are also glowing. They are also giving light. But sometimes Krishna exhibits a certain potency, not fully like that. So Krishna is in everyone's heart, still he is manifested in the transcendental form as his internal potency. So this very Lord was sitting before Bhishma Dev. So fortunate is Bhishma that in front of his eyes, the Supreme Lord is here mentioned. So he's present in every atom. Doesn't mean that, okay, when Krishna appears, he's missing in the atom because Krishna has come here. He's not there. He's in every place and he's beyond place and time. He's beyond the place and time. When he manifests his external transcendental form in material world, he does so by his internal potency. So how this is happening? Yogamaya. He doesn't. He and Prabhupada teaches us that we also should practice that. Fish, but don't touch water. You should be an expert fish, but you should not touch water. How it is possible? That is possible by the internal potency. So the external potency or the material energy has nothing to do with the eternal form of Krishna. Krishna is not under three modes of material nature when he comes here. Krishna is not under lust, greed, envy, anger. Krishna is not conditioned. when it comes to the material world. We should be very, very careful to understand this. Mayavadis are so foolish. They think that he is undergoing all these emotions. Oh, Rama, he cried, Rama did Papa. So in the next life, he was killed. Some nonsense, blabbering nonsense will come. So we should be very careful with the social media propagations and things coming from nasty sources. Yes.
So that's close. That's close.
Yeah, I told 10 minutes, but now it became 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're just coming down.
So all these truths were known to Bhishma Deva and he worshipped him accordingly. Bhishma Deva know the truth that Supreme Lord appears in Yogamaya potency. He is not in the material person. Okay, Hari Bol, see you tomorrow. Sorry, any questions, comments?
Yeah, questions we'll take tomorrow. Thank you very much because we need to rush to the temple now. Vehicle is waiting. So we will continue tomorrow. You can put your questions, if any, and comments and realization, whatever, in the group. Please do that immediately so that you will also not forget.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा, आप अपना सवाल को रिकॉर्ड करके ना ऑडियो मैसेज दे दीजिए वो ग्रुप के अंदर, हम आपका जवाब दे देंगे.
धन्यवाद प्रभु.
थैंक यू. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय.
जय.
पतित पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
जय.
पतित पावन श्रील गुरु महाराज की जय.
जय.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा
सिन्धुभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
भगवत सत्संग की जय.
जय.
हरि
हरि हरि बोल.